Welcome to Age Well Yoga. I'm Sue, and today I'm going to be taking you through a 60-minute gentle flow to strengthen your legs, your core, and to improve your balance. And tonight we're thinking about the theme of avidya, which means ignorance. In the yoga tradition, there are 5 kleshas, or items of suffering that you can go through. And the first one is avidya, which means ignorance. And really, we're not talking about acquiring facts, having knowledge. We're talking about ignorance of our true nature, that we are actually divine beings having a human experience. And we get so busy day to day with all of the things that we have to do, that we're rushing to do, and all the things that we worry about might happen or have happened, that we forget that we are actually perfectly divine beings just as we are, and that we actually have the ability to tap into that at any time. So tonight when we're practicing, just think about that. So when you're in a pose, see if you can focus your senses inward and tap into that divine entity that's within you or is you, that calmness within. We'll start tonight in Sukhasana, easy seat. You might need a cushion underneath you to raise your hips. So sitting cross-legged, have your hands on your knees or your thighs, or just have your palms open, whatever suits you. And start to notice your sit bones being supported by the ground. Start to stretch up your spine, feeling the length in your spine. You might want to relax your shoulders. Might even move your head a little bit to release any tension. And then start to focus on your breath. You might like to flutter your eyelids closed, or just look down at the floor. Start to focus on your inhale. Notice how your chest expands on your inhale and relaxes down on the exhale. Start to deepen your breath. On your inhale, expand through the abdomen, the chest, and broaden across the shoulders. And on exhale, release, let it go. Inhale and notice that 3-part expansion, abdomen, chest, and across the shoulders. And exhale, relaxing down. And this last time, a deep inhale. And just part your lips and gently sigh it out. Relaxing your shoulders at the same time. Placing your hands on the floor, palms up. Gently flutter your eyelids open if they're closed. And on your inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, stretch wide, up above your head, palms facing. And exhale, palms to heart center, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch out to the side, palms above your head. Feel the length in your side body. And then exhale with your hands coming to heart center in prayer position. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up above your head, palms facing, shoulders relaxing down, and then hands to heart center as you exhale. This time, inhale, stretch both hands up above your head. And then exhale and drop the right hand onto the floor on your right hand side. Lean over to the right. Your upper arm, left arm is by your left ear. Fingers pointing to the right. And anchor through your sit bone on the left hand side. And as you breathe, expand through your left side body. On your next inhale, come up to center. And on the exhale, drop your left hand to the left and your right upper arm goes near to your ear, right fingers pointing to the left. Anchoring through your right sit bones, stretching through your right side body. Inhale and stretch up, palms facing, and then on the exhale, look to the right, left hand on the outside of your right knee. Your right hand falls behind you. Your fingers may be domed to give yourself support, and look over your right shoulder. Inhale, stretch your spine up, and exhale, look a little bit further over your shoulder. One more time, inhale, stretching your spine upwards, and exhale, looking over your right shoulder. This time, inhale, stretch your arms up, back to center, and on the exhale, turn to the left, right hand to the outside of your left knee, left hand behind you, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale as you look over your shoulder. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale, twisting a little further. On the next inhale, bring your hands and arms back to center, facing forwards, and hands to heart center on the exhale. Inhale, stretching your arms out to the side, up above your head, and exhale, sweeping your hands behind you, fingers pointing away, quite close together, the hands. Squeeze your elbows and shoulder blades together and look up at the ceiling, stretching your chin up to the ceiling, and feeling the stretch in your front side body, and the bend in your lower back, upper back. As you breathe in, feel the expansion through the chest. You may be able to lean back a little further. And exhale. On your next inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. And then exhale, rain your hands forward in front of you, hands onto the floor in front of you. Inhale, stretch your head and shoulders and chest forward. Then exhale, lower your head and chest towards the floor. Chin towards the chest. So you get a stretch in your neck as well. So you might feel a stretch in your hips, your legs, as well as your arms. And then on the next inhale, walk your hands towards you, stretch them up overhead, and then hands to heart center. Wonderful. Now we've warmed up a bit, we'll do some tabletop cat-cows. So come onto all fours, move your cushion if you had one, and have your wrists directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips, toes pointing backwards, pressing into the tops of your feet. Spread your fingers wide and press through the fingertips and the base knuckles to try and relieve any tension on your wrists. Inhale and draw a line upwards with your nose. Drop the belly towards the mat, hips towards the sky for cow. Exhale, tucking in the chest, pushing away the earth with your hands for cat. Inhale for cow, shining your heart space forward, hips up to the sky. And exhale, tucking in the tail, navel to spine for cat. Inhale for cow. Broad through the collarbones. And exhale for cat. Navel to spine, chin to chest. And then come back to tabletop neutral pose. And just for a moment, we'll put our hands so that the fingers are pointing out towards the side of our mat, still under our shoulders, and just bend backwards and forwards, just giving our wrists a little bit of a massage. Still with our fingers splayed, just rock backwards and forwards. And stay like that, or if you think it serves you, you can have your fingertips pointing towards your knees and do the same thing. So to give more of a stretch in your wrists and the lower arms. And then return to tabletop. Take your feet out as wide as your knees out as wide as your mat, big toes touching. And slide your hands forward, bring your chest and forehead to the mat. Wild child pose. So your hands are still active. Your hips are tracking back towards your heels. And your chest and head is melting into the mat. Just rock your forehead from side to side, massaging your third eye, letting go of anything that has or hasn't happened today, this week, or this month. And feel the earth beneath you and start to connect to yourself. And as you breathe in, feel the expansion through your back body. Breathe in and think, I am. Breathe out and think, here. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, here. Coming fully present in your practice tonight. Inhale and come back to tabletop. And from tabletop, tuck in your toes. So stretching through your spine, your crown of your head is stretching forward, your tailbone is stretching back, you've got your toes tucked in. Inhale, and on the exhale, just hover your knees off the mat. Strengthening through the core, strengthening through the hands, arms and shoulders. And relax down to the mat. Keep your toes tucked. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. Hover your knees off the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release your knees back to the mat. Good work. Inhale, and on your exhale, lift your hips up to the sky and come back for your first downward dog of the day. Take a moment to walk your dog, so bend in one leg and then the other, tracking your heels back towards the mat. And as you find stillness in your downward dog, just check that your heels are disappearing behind your toes. You may have a gentle bend in your knees, heels tracking towards the mat, hips up to the sky, chest and head towards the mat. Shake your head, yes. Shake it, no. Pressing through your fingers. Rotate your arms so your elbow creases are facing forward, broadening across the chest. Inhale and stretch your right leg up into the sky for three-legged dog. And exhale, knee to nose, round in the back. Bring your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, three-legged dog on the right side. And exhale, this time knee to chest to nose and then right through. So it's in between your hands. Right foot is in between your hands. Fantastic. And we're dropping our left knee to the mat. Leave the toes tucked or untucked. Your right leg is in a square. Your knee is over your ankle. Inhale and stretch your hands forward and then up above your head for Anjaneyasana. Scissor your thighs together to give you stability and identify a focal point you can look at ahead so that you know what to help you balance. Look at that to help you balance. Engage the core and find that length through your spine. Tailbone tracking down, crown of the head stretching up to the sky. Inhale, stretch your arms up further, and exhale, rain your hands down to frame your right foot. Put most of your weight into your left hand, and inhale, stretch your right hand out to the side and up towards the sky, leaning on your left hand. Anjaneyasana and twist. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground. Tuck in your, oh no, sorry, that's wrong. Put your weight in both of your hands and move your right foot so it's near the left edge of your mat. And your right knee comes towards your right wrist. So your left leg is stretching back, straight. Your right knee is near your right wrist. And your left foot and your right foot is near the left side of your mat. Half pigeon. So like a pigeon, proudly push your chest forward. And you'll probably feel a stretch in your right hip, might be in your right glute. As you stretch forward, pigeon, half pigeon pose. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Relax your jaw. Shoulders away from the ears. And then inhale, tuck in your left toes, weight in your hands, push back into downward facing dog. Right foot goes back to downward facing dog. Well done. Left side, inhale, left leg raises. Three-legged dog on the left side. Exhale, knee to nose, round through the back. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg up to the sky. Exhale, knee comes towards your chest, your nose, and then step it through in between your hands. Left leg is in between your hands. Drop your right knee to the mat. Release your right foot if that's comfortable. And on the next inhale, stretch your arms out to the front and then up overhead, coming up for Anjaneyasana. Left knee is over your left ankle, tracking towards your second and third toes. Find that point of balance. Active in the core to protect your lower back. And stretch out through the side body. As you breathe in, notice the space that you can create between your ribs. Inhale as you stretch up, and exhale, rain your hands down to frame your left foot. Put your weight in your right hand, and on the next inhale, stretch your left arm up to the side and up above your head. And Anjaneyasana with a twist. Exhale and bring the left hand back down near to the foot. Pigeon pose on the left side. So take weight in both hands. Push back a little bit and bring your left foot to the right side of your mat. Left knee towards left wrist. Stretch your right foot back, pressing into the top of your right foot. And again, puff out your chest like a pigeon, a proud pigeon, pigeon pose, half pigeon pose. See if you can slide your shoulder blades down the back, away from your ears. And relax the jaw. Tuck in your right foot. Have your weight in both hands evenly. Inhale, and on the exhale, push back with the left foot so that you're into downward facing dog. Just take a few moments to make sure that your hips are raising up to the sky, your chest is tracking towards the mat, and you're pressing through your fingertips. And then walk your hands towards your feet. And as you come towards your feet, have opposite hands grasp opposite elbows, ragdoll, bending in the knees, just swaying from side to side, straightening one leg and then the other, easing out the lower back and the hamstrings, the glutes. Just make sure that your neck is loose. You might need to nod your head to release it. And then relax the hands down to the ground, chin to the chest, and roll up to the sky to standing vertebrae by vertebrae. No rush. And as you come up standing, roll your shoulders back a few times. Fantastic. And just a side stretch. So step your left foot behind your right foot, tight cross. And raise your right hand above your head. And take your right wrist with your left hand and just bend to the left. And feel that stretch through your right side. A lot of bananas. Inhale, come up. Lower your hands, and now the right foot goes tightly behind your left foot. You raise your left hand up to the sky. Right hand has left wrist, bending to the right. You might find it's different on one side to the other side. And inhale, come up. Wonderful. Standing at the top of your mat. Just warm up the spine. Inhale. And stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. And then rain your hands down, bending at the waist, up the hips. Down towards the ground, might be on your shins. And then come up for halfway lift, inhaling. Body is parallel with the floor. Hands will be on your hips, or they might be on your shins. Exhale, forward fold, bending at the hips. And bending your knees, inhale, root to rise. Spread your hands out to the side and come up, hands overhead, palms facing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, stretching hands out to the side, up overhead, palms facing. Rain the hands down, bending at the hips, stretching forward as we bend down for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, torso parallel with the mat. Exhale, forward fold, bending knees. Inhale, stretching arms out to the side, rooting to rise, hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. Just stand in Tadasana now. So feet anchored into the ground. Noticing the four corners of your feet, two corners of the heels, and then the base of your little toe and the big toe, connecting with the earth. You can have a gentle bend in your knees if you wish, sending your thigh bones backwards. Tail is long, broad through the collarbones. Palms face forward, creating space in the chest. And you might like to imagine there's a golden thread from the top of the crown of your head all the way up to the sky, just allowing you to create space between each vertebrae, allowing your spine to do its job with ease. You might like to close your eyes and just sway backwards and forwards a little. Just experiment with your balance. You could feather your toes, raise your toes off the mat. So you can focus on those four corners of each foot. Okay, sun salutation A, opening our eyes. Inhaling, stretching our hands out to the side, up above the head. Exhaling, folding forward, raining the hands down, bending the knees if we wish. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Torso parallel with the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands either side of the feet and step back into dog pose. Heels disappearing behind the feet, hips stretching up to the sky, chest tracking towards the mat. Bring the knees down for supported plank. So shoulders are above the wrists. Just hold it in supported plank for a moment. And exhale, elbows in towards your ribs and lower down slowly to your mat. All the way down to the belly. Press through the tops of your feet so that the knees come off the mat. Hands under the shoulders, elbows in towards the ribs. Inhale, stretch up into cobra. Just press up gently, shining your heart space forward, looking forward, not up. And exhale, relax down. One more time. Inhale, stretching the crown of your head up, looking forward, shoulders away from the ears, cobra. And exhale, coming down gently. Tucking the toes, inhale, and on the exhale, push back into supported plank and then up into downward facing dog. This time, walk your feet towards your hands and come into forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, down to forward fold again, and then rooting to rise, inhaling as you stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, hands to heart center as you exhale. Wonderful. This time we're going to do some standing poses. We're going to do a high lunge and we're going to try airplane, which is a one-legged balance. So just do what feels right for you today, do what's right for your body. So starting off, top of your mat, inhale, stretching your arms up. Exhale, raining your hands down, folding at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, stretching up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Planting your hands, inhale, and on the exhale, come back into dog. Inhale and stretch your right leg up towards the sky. Hips stay facing the ground. Exhale, knee to nose, and then through to in between your hands. So your right leg is in between your hands. Your right leg is in a square. Your left leg, your left feet, your toes stay pointing forwards. Your left leg is strong. Your thigh is stretching up. Inhale and stretch your hands back, pointing towards your hips, pointing backwards by your hips. A bit of weight in your front leg. Exhale. Inhale, stretch your hands forward and then up above your head. So this is quite a good balance. Front leg is in a square, the back leg is active, the back heel is up. High lunge. So you might like to have your feet further apart from each other, like on parallel beams, if that suits you better, if you're wobbling, otherwise all good. Now listen carefully to the next part. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands back by your hips again, pointing backwards. And at the same time, step your left foot forward a little bit. Your weight is in your right leg. Right leg is slightly bent. And then bring your left foot up, so left leg up so it's parallel with the floor. Airplane. So look at a point on the floor in front of you for balance. If you can't balance like that, just put your left foot down slightly. And then, oops, embrace the humanness, we're all wobbling. And then on the exhale, come back down to high lunge. A bit complex, that one. But that's okay, that's what it's all about. Okay, putting our hands down, hands on our hips. This time, straighten your front leg. The right toes are pointing straight forward. Your left toes can be at about 45 degrees. Your left foot's at about 45 degrees. Hips are facing forward. Inhale and stretch your arms back so you're crossing your arms behind your back. Hips are facing forward, so track your right hip backwards. Exhale when you're ready and lean forward over your right leg so that your torso is parallel with the mat. Shoulders should be parallel with the mat. Right hip tracks back, left hip tracks forward, squeezing the thighs together. Inhale, stretching up. And exhale, point both toes towards the left-hand side of your mat. And come into star pose. So hands stretched out, 5-pointed star, because the head's the point, one of the points. And then exhale and just bend at the hips and come forward until your hands are on the mat in front of you, sorry, on the floor in front of you, probably not the mat. And you can heel toe your feet so they're a little bit wider if you've got that stretch in your groins. So your hands are under your face and your arms are straight. Your legs are stretching out either side, feet pointing towards the left-hand side of your mat. Take the weight in your left hand. Inhale, stretch your right hand out to the side and up towards the sky. And exhale, bring it back down under your face. Left hand side, inhale, stretch your left hand out to the side, up towards the sky. And exhale, bring it back down. You can stay here if that's enough of a stretch, or you might like to walk your hands slightly back so they're in line with your feet, and bend your arms so that your head is closer to the floor. Just to get an extra stretch in your lower back and in your groin. Walk your hands forward if you move them back. And then walk your hands back towards the front of the mat so they frame your right foot. Right toes point forward, left toes point forward. Inhale, and on the exhale, push back into downward dog. In your downward dog, just notice how your legs feel. Do they feel the same length? And on the next exhale, walk your hands towards your feet and roll your spine up vertebrae by vertebrae until you come to standing. Roll your shoulders back. Standing in Tadasana, just ground ourselves again. Remembering that we have lots of resources within us. Present within us, we don't have to run around and get lots of resources. And we'll do the left side now. Inhale, stretching up, hands overhead. Exhale, raining the hands down, folding from the hips, forward fold. Might be able to get a little bit more stretch in your hamstrings now. Have those legs a little bit straighter, whatever works for you. Inhale, halfway lift, torso parallel with the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands either side of the feet. Inhale and coming back into dog pose. On the next inhale, stretch your left leg up towards the sky, toes pointing towards the ground. Exhale, knee to chest towards the nose, and then step it through in between your hands. Coming up for a high lunge like we did on the other side. So all the toes are pointing forward towards the front of the mat, and the right heel is off the mat. Inhale and point your hands behind you towards the back by your hips. And exhale in this spot. Inhale and swivel your hands so that they're pointing up towards the sky. Torso is vertical, high lunge. So the left leg is in a square, stretching back through the right thigh, right heel, active in the core, and looking at your point of balance. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bring your hands back towards your hips, pointing backwards. Step forward half a pace or more with your right foot. Take the weight into your left foot and lift your right leg so it's parallel with the floor. Airplane pose. Stretch your right heel back. Have a spot on the floor that you can balance, use as a balance point. Focus the mind. And then gently swivel back to high lunge. Embrace the wobble, the humanness. Hands overhead, right leg stretched out behind you. Straighten your left leg. Have your right leg at 45 degrees, right heels now on the mat. Hands come towards your hips. So just check that your hips are facing the front of the mat. Your left hip is tracking back, right hip's tracking forward. And then when you're ready, inhale, stretch your arms out and then cross your hands behind your back. Fold your arms behind your back, sorry. Just catch your breath. And inhale, look up. And exhale, lead with the chin and the chest and fold forward from the hips, tracking towards your left leg until your torso is parallel with the mat. And feel that length from your tailbone all the way through to the crown of your head. Notice if you're clenching anywhere. Just breathe into that spot to release it. Send breath there, the out breath there. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. 5-pointed star to the right side. So your toes point to the right edge of your mat. Stretching up tall. And then exhale and fold forward. Fold at the hips, coming forward. Put your hands under your face. And you can walk your feet out a little bit further. Heel toe your feet out a little bit further, if that serves you. Feet, toes pointing towards the right side of your mat. Put your weight into your right hand this time. Inhale and stretch your left hand out to the side and then up towards the sky. And then exhale, returning your left hand under your face. Inhale, stretching your right hand out to the side, up towards the sky. And then exhale, returning it back to the floor. You can stay here if that's enough of a stretch for you, or if you'd like a further stretch, you can walk your hands back so they're in line with your feet, fingers pointing forwards, and bend your elbows. So you're actually tracking your head towards the floor. You can kind of lean forward a little bit. And return your awareness to your breathing. Relax your shoulders. And when you're ready, come up and turn your hands so they're under your face, arms are straight. And then walk your hands towards the front of your mat, swiveling both feet towards, pointing to the front of the mat so that your hands frame your left foot. Inhale, and on the exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Take a few moments in your downward facing dog to stretch out your back, hips to the sky, chest towards the mat. And then walk your feet towards your hands up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale for forward fold. And then inhale as you stretch your hands out to the side, up overhead, and hands to heart center. Great work. Those balances are quite a challenge. So the reward is that we get to go back to wild child. So coming down onto your mat, knees out the sides, the edges of your mat, big toes touching. And sink your chest and forehead down to the mat. Hands active, spreading your fingers wide. And push back towards your heels so that your hips track towards your heels. And again, come back to that free part breathing. Notice how your body expands as you inhale. Your lungs stretch through the back body. And relax as you exhale. On the inhale, you can say, I am. And on the exhale, here. I am here. And on your next inhale, start to lower your belly to the mat and come on to the mat lying face down. With your hands stretched out in front of you. Legs stretched back. Hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Have your forehead on the mat. Inhale and stretch your right hand forward and your left leg back. And just hold that for a couple of breaths. And inhale, stretch both arm and leg long, and exhale, relax them down. Locust variations. Doing the left arm now and the right leg. Inhale, stretch the left arm long, right leg long, lifting them up. With every inhale, stretch a bit further. Last inhale, stretch long, and then relax down on the exhale. This time we'll do both arms and we'll keep the feet on the floor so you can press through the feet to give yourself stability and strength. You can lift up the head as well. So we're going to inhale and lift up the hands and the arms and the head like a half Superman pose. Stretching, stretching, and exhale, relaxing down. This time we'll do the legs. So the hands are firm on the floor in front of you. Your forehead stays on the mat. Inhale, raise both legs up, straight legs, pointing backwards, stretching up and out. And exhale as you lower them to the ground. We'll try the full Superman pose now. So we're going to be raising our head, our arms, and our legs. Very good back bend. Inhale, stretching your hands, your arms, your head, and your feet. Stretch further with each inhale. One more stretch. And relax it down. Place your hands on top of each other, elbows bent, and lower your forehead onto your hands. Palms facing down. Bend your knees so your feet are stretching up to the sky, and just windscreen wiper your feet back and forward just to release the lower back. And then lower the feet to the ground. Put your hands under your shoulders and then just push up to tabletop and come into sitting. Dandasana, staff pose. Legs straight out in front of you. You may have a gentle bend in your knees, toes pointing towards your shins, fingers pointing forward and broad across your chest, length through the spine. Bring your right foot next to your left thigh, and hug your right knee with your left arm. Inhale, stretch your right hand up. And exhale, allow your right hand to drop behind you. You may want to dome your hand depending on your anatomy. And looking over your right shoulder. So a gentle twist. Inhale, stretch your spine up, your crown up to the sky. And exhale, looking over your right shoulder. Hugging in your right thigh in towards your torso to massage your internal organs. Each inhale, stretch up. And exhale, look over your shoulder. One more inhale. And on the exhale, keep your feet where they are and bring your hands next to your left hip, either side of your left hip, for a gentle counter twist. And then straighten your legs back to Dandasana. And just notice how your legs feel, how your body feels. Bringing your left foot to your right thigh. Twist on the other side. Right hand and arm hugs the left knee and thigh into the chest. Stretch your left hand up above the sky, up to the sky, then drop it behind you, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, stretch your torso up, chin in, and just look over your left shoulder. Active through the right leg, toes towards the shins. Inhale, creating space in the spine, and exhale, softening into the twist. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale, softening a little further. Now, keeping your legs where they are, inhale and bring your hands to frame your right hip for a gentle counter twist. And then come back to Dandasana, staff pose. Now bring your right foot in towards your right thigh with your knee bent out. So your right sole is next to your left thigh. Your knee bends out, sitting up nice and tall. Left leg is strong and straight, toes pointing towards the shins. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, looking at your left foot, start to bend the hips forward over that left leg. And you might have your hands might grab your thigh or your shin or possibly your foot. Keep your elbows out to create space in your chest and lean forward with your chest and your chin, so that that stretch is coming from your lower back and not your upper back. Trying to stay flat in the back. Forward fold on the left side. Inhale and just stretch your chest and chin forward, and exhale, soften down a little bit further. Inhale and come up to sitting, straighten up your right leg. And then go on the other side. So the left sole of the left foot comes into the right thigh. Let your left knee drop down. If you have any trouble with your knee, you might want to put a cushion underneath it. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, hinging from the hips. Come forward over the right leg. And your hands might want to take your thighs or your shin, your ankle. Have your elbows stretched out and your collarbones wide, leading with the chest and the chin, so we're not dropping the head. On the inhale, stretch the chest forward, and on the exhale, just soften down a little bit. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale, come back to staff pose. Wonderful. Okay, we'll just go down to a bridge before we get into some cool down activities. So lying flat on your back, feet behind your buttocks, soles of the feet on the floor, knees parallel with, knees in line with the hips, hands flat on the floor beside your hips, palms downwards, facing downwards. Before we start, just roll to the left and tuck your right shoulder blade further towards the center line, towards your spine, and then roll to the right and do the same with your left shoulder blade. So creating that space in your chest. Inhale, push through your heels, push your hips up towards the sky, chin towards the ceiling, and pressing through your hands, your forearms, your upper arms, and the back of your head to create a bridge. Squeezing through the buttocks, broad through the chest. Take a few breaths in your bridge. Inhale with a big chest, broad through the chest, and then exhale, slowly lowering down to the ground. Just noticing the contact of your spine with the earth as it comes back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Wonderful. Just release the shoulder blades and hug both knees in towards your chest, hands around your shins, and you can rock from side to side if you like. Place your left foot on the ground and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Allow your right knee to drop out towards the right. This might be enough for you, but if you'd like a further stretch, thread your hands behind your left thigh and bring your left thigh in towards you. You might be able to use your right elbow to push your right knee away from you. Figure 4, lying down, supine figure 4. Active through the feet, so toes are pointing towards the shins. Should be able to feel your lower back on the floor. And we'll go the other side, so release that, both feet on the floor. And then the left ankle is over the right thigh. Left knee is dropping away from you. That might be enough, or if you'd like, thread your hands to the back of your right thigh. Bring your right thigh towards you. Use your left elbow to push your left knee away. Figure 4, supine figure 4. And release both legs. Have your knees in the air still, feet on the floor. And drop both knees to the left-hand side. And bring your hands out into a T, or you might have your hands into your neck if you need a bit of space. Look towards your right hand or elbow. Feel a stretch in your right hip. Notice the space in your right side body. Notice how your body feels, how it's starting to integrate all the good work you've done in your practice. Inhale and bring your navel to spine, knees back to center, and exhale, drop both knees to the right, looking to the left. Notice the space in your left ribs, the stretch in your left hip, relaxing through the shoulders. Then inhale, navel to spine, put both knees back to center, hugging both knees into the chest again, and then putting your hands on your knees, pushing your knees away from you as you inhale, and then as you exhale, bring them towards you in a circle, circle them around, inhaling as they go away, exhaling as they come down towards your chest, inhaling as you make space, and exhaling as you squeeze them in. And then changing direction. Moving in time with your breath. And when you come to center, squeeze your knees in one last time before sending your legs long. Allow your feet to drop out to the side. Have your hands next to you, palms up. Tuck your chin slightly to create length in your neck. As your body starts to relax. Your feet and ankles relax. See them in your mind's eye. Feel them with your awareness. Calves and knees relax. Thighs and hips relax. Pelvis relaxes down. Hands and wrists relax. Forearms and elbows relax. Upper arms and shoulders relax. Collarbones relax. Buttocks and abdomen relax. Chest, lungs and heart relax. Throat and neck relax. Tongue and jaw relax. Draw your lips back from your teeth and then return them in a gentle smile. Stretch your eyebrows up and then let them relax. Eyes are heavy in their sockets. Skin on the forehead, the cheeks, nose and around the mouth, relax. As the body relaxes, so the mind follows. No need to do anything. If thoughts arise, let them pass like clouds in the sky. When you're ready, introduce some gentle movement to your body. Graze your fingertips with your thumb. Move your feet and ankles. You might like to stretch long, waking up the limbs, waking up your core, activating the energy you've created. And when you're ready, roll to one side. Tuck in your knees and roll to one side. And take a couple of breaths as you transition out of relaxation. Push yourself up to sitting in easy seat Sukhasana, where we started. And connect in again with your breath. The expansion and relaxation. Knowing that you are actually a divine being and everything you need is within you. Inhale and put your hands at heart center. We bow our thinking minds to our loving hearts in gratitude for practice today, in gratitude for the divinity that got us here, for the forces, the family, the people, and nature itself bringing us to practice today. And we hope that the practice has a calming effect on those around us as we carry ourselves through the week. Be well. Namaste.